Good morning, listeners. Welcome to the very special episode of Trailblazers Unplugged. Here it's Sunbeam Bhagwanpur. Today, we're all set for an electrifying session. One, it's all about power, passion, and precision.
That's right, Lakshmi. Joining us is none other than the legendary Mr. Nelson Paes, a world-renowned MMA fighter, trained par excellence, and an inspiration to countless martial artists around the globe. He is here for one of its kind MMA training camp, and we're thrilled to have you here with us, sir.
Mr. Pace has fought in the toughest arenas, trained students, and now he's at a very Sunbeam Bhagwanpur. Well, it's not every day that you get to sit down with someone who truly embodies discipline, girth, and the warrior's mindset.
So, buckle up, everyone. This is going to be an action packed conversation as we dive deep into the world of MMA, life lessons from the ring, and the story of a fighter who's changing lives one punch, kick, and move at a time.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. We once again welcome you, sir.
Hi guys, thank you for having me here. It's a privilege to be sitting here with you guys.
Likewise, sir. So, let's get started with the question. Sir, starting with the first question, what initially sparked your interest in sports and what motivated you to pursue a career in MMA?
I've always been passionate about fitness as a kid, and I played hockey. I've played all the games in school, and kept on to playing game, and eventually ended up in MMA because MMA is so versatile. It's very challenging, and it's all discipline under one sport. So there was nothing best to challenge myself and to explore this game. Hence, I got into MMA.
Indeed, sir, it was a long way.
Yes.
Well, sir, we want to know, is there any particular style or fighting technique which you particularly enjoy the most or which you find the most effective? Also, sir, is there any unique Nelson style which you have developed and which really sets you apart?
Oh, I like that question. Talking about style, I like Muay Thai because of its precision and the power and the ability of striking. I always love the striking element of it. And talking about the Nelson style, I keep adapting to my style based on my opponents and based on the game. It's like a chess. It's like a physical chess. So there's no style as such, but yeah, talking about my style, I'd like to strike and KO. That's what I like to go for.
That's actually pretty tough, I guess.
Yeah, it is very tough.
Okay.
Rough and tough.
Yes, actually. Sir, so keeping up with the second question, sir, how do you mentally prepare for a fight? Do you have a standard strategy that is set, or do you just adapt to whatever the strength and weakness of your opponent is?
Yeah, so the preparation wise, we visualize, we meditate, we watch the fight, we have a strategy. And talking about the other part of it, yeah, just go in and just get the job done. And there's nothing standard or nothing fixed. We have to adapt and we have to make changes as per the opponent, as per the games. We see how the fight is going ahead. We see how the fight goes, and we have a team, we have our coaches, they analyze it from the outside of the ring, and we make strategies and small changes. But there's no script as such. We just have to adapt. So the major part about my game is adaptation, so major.
Indeed,
That is
sir.
very insightful.
Yes, sir. Indeed, adaptation is the key to life.
Absolutely, yeah.
Nothing
To
is
life
permanent.
in general. Nothing is permanent.
So, we would like to work upon a typical day in your life. Like, how do you really manage your commitments, your training, and your recovery altogether?
Right. As a professional fighter, when I have camps, when I have fights, so my traditional day would be like wake up in the morning and start my day clean. Of course, have a glass of water and then go for a run, because stamina is everything. You might have all the skills, if you don't have the stamina, you are nowhere. So that's how I start my day, and then I get into my training mode, and we do some technical training, we do some sparring. And in the evening, I run a gym. I also do other activities for my community. And we're working on new projects. I like projects, to work on every time new projects. Keeps me excited. And in the evenings, with my students, helping them transform We have different people coming for different reasons to my gym. Not everyone wants to fight, but everyone wants to transform in their own ways. So that's what I like to do. That's how my day goes by. And then I like to spend time with my family. I live with my mother, and I call my sisters, I call my friends. That's my traditional day. Yeah.
That's a very eventful day.
Thank you. Yeah, action packed.
Yes.
At times, like training could be really difficult to manage. So, like, how do you handle it when it really gets brutal for you?
Yeah, that's a very good question. It is very emotional, very brutal, very painful. But then I have to keep reminding myself why I did this, why I started this. And one philosophy I use a lot in my life: no looking back. So whenever I do something, and whenever you do something, it only gets tougher and challenging. But then you have to endure it, and something that I live by is resilience. So however challenging the day is, however emotional it is, however painful your injuries, sometimes we just have to look at the goal, and like I said, no looking back. Just keep moving ahead. One hand, one leg, no leg. One hand, no arm. Like, give you an example. I broken my arm just in my last national games, and it was very depressing. Just to give you a life example, I trained 1.5 months for this fight, and the fight only lasted for 15 seconds. In 15 seconds, I snapped my hand, but I was sitting in the hospital for 6 days, and something I never planned for. I didn't train for 1.5 months to sit in the hospital for 5-6 days. So, but then I was talking to myself, and I am like, Nelson, you chose this sport. This is part and parcel of the game. You are here to inspire and lead a good example. And something that I would never do is live in sorrow. So I like to, again, resilience, keep moving forward. Within 2 months, I started training, and everyone at the gym were like so worried about me, like, don't hold heavy and all. I said, no, I'm fine. and the body conditioned to it, and I'm back in training, back in fighting, back in sparring. It's all back to normal.
Mental strength is really important in sports like this, not only the physical strength.
Definitely, very much. Is that the question? Because that's a huge. If you want me to speak about it, that's huge. Mental strength is absolutely.
Actually,
Yes.
you do heal faster when you have the mental perseverance to do so.
Sure. Since you asked about the mental strength, and since I'm addressing the school, I think my generation, we had a very tough childhood. I think the generation now is a little different. It's completely changed. During my childhood, it was very hard, and being brought up by a single parent, and I was dropped into the boarding school at the age of 5, and it was a challenging moment for my mother as my father left her, and she had 4 kids, including myself, only son, and she had no choice but just to put us in the boarding school so that she could go back and make some money to look after us. But her style was not that great. She took me into boarding school. She was sitting in the office. She signed all the papers and all. I was not aware of it. And then she told me, I'm just going to the shop and I'm coming back. And then she never came back, and I'm there 2-3 hours waiting. And then the priest comes and he's like, what are you doing over here? Go and mix up with the boarders. And I'm like, no, this is not what I signed up for. And he's like, no, your mother is not coming back. And it was very traumatic. And then sports was something I leveraged on, and that was something that gave me love, compassion, gave me comfort, and gave me that support and the strength. And talking about coming back to mental strength. So I think these episodes and series just mentally got me tough. It was like, this is life. Life is not easy. You don't get everything you want. And when I was a child, I never had a toy. I never had a nickname. I had a boarding number. That's how I was addressed at the age of 5. I even remember my boarding number, 127. That's how I was addressed. On my collar, on my pants, on my socks, we had a number 127. No one called me by my name. It was boarding number 127, like a jailer, But I seen tough life, hence I have become a tough person. And maybe that's helped me in my sports and to look at things more positively and more challengingly than complain about it and nag and live in the sorrow. So maybe the childhood has helped me to condition myself like I said, I took it positively. Without, I could have easily been a rebellious kid and just said, you know, because of my past, I'm a bad guy, and no. But I chose to look past through it and live a good life and make my mother proud, who went through a lot of hardship.
That is actually very motivational.
Thank you.
So, sir, the next question we have for you is that what is your perspective on the evolution of MMA, especially in India? And do you think there are some specific areas of improvement that you would recommend to elevate the sports?
I think the MMA in India is doing brilliant. They are really doing well. We have a lot of fighters now who are in the UFC, and it's a proud moment to see where India has evolved. The sports has completely evolved. When we started, we were the pioneers in the game. When I started, it was very challenging. We didn't have the blueprint. We didn't have great coaches. We didn't even have this lovely gym that you guys have. So, but talking about this generation, talking about today, the sport has evolved. Many champions, many promising athletes, and but from my opinion, one feedback, I think the opportunities are a bit less, and we need more mentors like myself and the others who can inspire genuinely. There are a lot of mentors also who are a bit shady and dodgy. There are many mentors today who have not even fought and who are coaches and who have a lot of gimmicks these days. You know, even back in Goa, I have gyms who've opened up. They are my own students. They have not even fought. They don't know anything about the game. They don't know the true sportsmanship. They have never been a sportsman for that matter, but are running gyms and fooling people, saying that they have trained in Thailand. And so it's very sad in those lines. But I want to tell this to all the aspiring youth. If you want to take up MMA, if you want to take up any sports, it's very important you do a background check of your mentors, of your coaches, of the gym, and then you take a program, because these guys are fools, they're cheaters, and you don't want to be wrapped up into this, because you're not going to go ahead. Simple as that. Who's going to lose at the end? It's you, not the gym owner. He's made this money. It's you who's going to be blocked at one point. And another thing is that, talking about this generation, I think this generation is spoiled and is given everything on the platter, and the parents have spoiled them so much that these guys don't know what's mental toughness. These guys have no clue about challenges, about toughness. These guys have no clue. If you shout at them, they stop training the next day. We were slapped in training, and that just made us tough. There was no, nowadays everyone's putting a police complaint and this and that. It's completely changed. The whole youth is completely changed. Hence, the youth is a little bit, yeah, I won't say much about that, but it's very, you can argue about it, but I'm grateful for my childhood, and I thank all my teachers who slapped me and who punished me, because here I am today.
Yes, indeed.
So, you know, managing professional life, professional career, as well as your personal life can be really tough and challenging at times. So, sir, we would like to know, how do you maintain the equilibrium or the balance between the two?
That's a very good question. So, I keep saying school because I'm addressing the students. In school, you know, everything is very systematic. You have your grades to pass, you got to impress your parents, you got to be a good child in school, and it's pretty good, you know. But when you come into the real world and when you keep propelling, there's more on the plate. And answering to your question, how do I balance and stuff, it's about prioritizing. It's very important. You need to understand what's priority, and based on that make changes. So for example, last few weeks my priority has been to come to Sunbeam and prepare a 4-day camp and inspire everyone and motivate everyone. And a good example is, during this time I pushed everything on the side. Sunbeam was right on the top. When I leave from here, it's going to be something else, and then something else. It's about the priority. When I have fights, my fight is above everything, and then when I have exams, exam is above everything. When I have my mother's birthday, then I give time for my mother. When it's my sisters, I give time for my sisters. When it's time to fight for my village, I fight for my village. And whatever I do, I prepare. That's why I'm confident. Why I'm sitting here today? Because I've prepared myself.
That's very good advice, sir.
Thank you.
So, sir, speaking of advice, what advice would you give to young aspirants and students who want to make a career in sports or MMA?
Okay, coming back to my previous answers, choose the right mentor. Very important, kids. Don't choose a mentor who is going to be petting you and tapping you and praising you for no reason. They are fooling you. And so yeah, choose the right mentor and respect your coaches, because of your coaches you are where you are, and without their guidance and without their support, you wouldn't be that far. You can't do it on your own. Obviously, you need a team. Select the right team, select the right coach, and most importantly, believe in yourself. You will win, you will lose. Like I started my journey with a 3 defeat. I never gave up though, because yes, so my advice to the kids is to keep fighting, keep striving. We're all meant to do this. There's no one special and not special. Your muscle doesn't talk, your height doesn't talk. It's your mind, it's your resilience. So keep fighting, believe in yourself. Let no one let you down. You believe in yourself strongly and believe in yourself, and keep saying believe in yourself. That's it.
Indeed, sir. If one cannot believe in themselves, maybe they will find hurdles in their lives, hurdles just circumfying them too much to get out of it. Thank you so much, sir, for all your advices, for all the values which you taught us in this descriptive questions. So now we are all done with our descriptive questions. Now, on a lighter note, sir, we're moving towards the second round of questions.
The rapid fire
Yeah.
round.
So in this rapid fire round, we are going to ask you certain question, and that is going to be really rapid, ladies and gentlemen. And you need to pace up, and so will we. So, sir, do we get started?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
So like the first thing that comes to your mind, that's your answer.
yeah, I got it. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
The first question is a past fighter you would have loved to compete against.
Okay, I'll say it on the international platform and on the Indian platform. So let's start with the Indian platform. I admire this fighter. His name is Amit Raj. I think we started together, and I always seen him like the muscle man and the heavy man. And I always wanted to, like I like challenges. I always wanted to prove that muscle is not everything, and I wish to fight him in the past, maybe in the future. Let's see. And an international and as an international fighter, talking about the UFC fighter who I admire the most, Anderson Silva. I would have loved to, I wouldn't say fight, but I love to spar with him because he's so crafty, he's so creative, and his precision, his timing. It would be an honor to spar with him. I wouldn't use the word fight, definitely spar with him. Yeah.
So second question, what is your dream destination?
My dream destination.
Is it a really tough question?
Yeah, I'm just trying to connect it to put a reason to the dream destination to make it more sensible. So I'm thinking, let's keep it simple. I'd say Brazil, because there's one discipline that I haven't really excelled at, and that's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Although I'm always training and growing. So yeah, Brazil is what I would say. Yeah.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, that's why.
So the next question is really going to be tough for you. Oh, is it? Because we're going to ask you, if not MMA, what other career would you have pursued?
Oh, wow. So as a growing child, I never planned to become a fighter. You know, I don't know how I ended up here. It was a calling. But before that, I was trying to find myself and trying to see where I fit in. So I did try quite a few stuff. Like I tried getting into Merchant Navy. I tried giving my UPSC exam, and I don't know. I just realized I didn't like studying. I just didn't like opening the books. Although I have the common sense of and knowledge, God gift. But yeah, I don't like study, so I had to stop that. But yeah, if had it not been MMA, definitely been going there, and I like to inspire really. So yeah, mentor. Can I say that? I could be a mentor, inspire youth and people, not just youth. I just like to inspire really and spark everyone. That's in nature, you know.
Yes.
That's really insightful.
You had a very diverse background.
Indeed.
Try it out. All right, sir. So next question. I think hopefully should not be that tough. So who has been your toughest opponent since so far, like?
Every fight has been tough because it's a fight at the end of the day. Both are coming to win, and both are coming to knock you out. It's not just win. It's not a chess game. It's coming to knock you out. Before the fight, you don't know how you're going to drop. You don't know. Your parents are sitting there. Your people are sitting outside the ring. So all the fight is tough. But my most memorable moment and would always be my first international fight in UAE at Desert Force Championship back in 2016, when the sport was only growing. Nobody knew much about the sport, and back then many of the Indian fighters would go abroad and participate, and only participate with no victory. And I was the first to break that, and being an underdog. So that will always be my special and my toughest moment. I always give it.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir, for that question.
Okay.
So with that, we have the end of the rapid fire round, sir. So it's also the wrap for the podcast. Thank you so much for your encouraging words, sir. We are beyond grateful to have you here with us.
Thank you so
And
much.
this conversation has been extremely enriching.
Really enjoyed the time talking to you guys. You guys made me very relaxed and made me open up myself.
Well done.
Thank you, sir.
Indeed, sir. It was really insightful for all of us to, go through your life journeys and learn the values of resilience, of how to acclimatize ourselves according to the situations, because in the end, you need to be tough. And situations make you tough.
Because life is about surviving. You have to survive. Education is one thing. Survival is the first instinct.
Basic human instinct
Yeah.
that we
So
talk.
we need to survive. Okay. So this was me, Rajlakshmi from Standard 9th.
And I'm Ashanya, also from Standard 9th.
And I must say, you guys also inspire the others. So I think everyone should come and step forward and be courageous to do it. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.